as the United States and its allies increase efforts to restrict China's access to advanced semiconductor chips. Experts say the measures could impact Beijing's development, but they will also cause collateral damage to United States firms. China's semiconductor industry is facing renewed pressure from the U.S. and its allies after Japan announced that it would impose export restrictions on 23 types of chip-making technology, including advanced semiconductor manufacturing equipment. The measure will come into effect in July. The move comes after the United States and the Netherlands introduced similar measures in recent months, as Washington and its allies try to limit China's access to advanced semiconductor chips and equipment. Last October, the U.S. government introduced a series of export controls on advanced semiconductor chips. Since then, Washington has been lobbying the Netherlands and Japan to join its efforts to limit the development of China's semiconductor sector. How did China react to the move? Beijing strongly opposed Tokyo's decision to impose export control on items related to advanced semiconductor manufacturing, saying the move goes against free trade and international trade regulations and it's an abuse of export control measures. Some Chinese semiconductor industry executives have expressed concern over the potential impact of Japan's measures, and experts said they will stifle China's attempt to develop new processes to manufacture advanced semiconductor chips in the future. During a trip to Guangdong province in southern China in April, Chinese leader Xi Jinping highlighted the importance of pursuing self-reliance in science and technology, emphasizing that the move is crucial to advancing Beijing's modernization efforts. He called on Chinese businesses to take further steps to increase innovation capacity and make more progress in achieving breakthroughs in core technologies. China retaliates against United States chip company Micron. To retaliate against the United States-led export control measures, China's cyberspace regulator announced that U.S. memory chip maker Micron had failed the network security review, and thus they had banned operators of key infrastructure from buying products from Micron. During a meeting between top American and Chinese commerce officials, Washington's Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo raised the issue with her opposite number in Beijing. Raimondo emphasized that Washington won't tolerate Beijing's ban on purchases of memory chips from Micron. She said the United States firmly opposes China's move against the chip giant. Following China's decision to bring a halt to memory chip purchases, Micron's chief financial officer Mark Murphy said that the company is assessing how the move might affect its sales. "We are currently estimating a range of impacts in the low single digits % of our company total revenue at the low end and high single-digit % of total company revenue at the high end," he said at a conference. Beijing's measures against Micron are a performative move that may not seriously damage the company's business in China, and that Beijing and Washington may be adopting these moves because they are politically popular. Both China and the United States can take politically popular moves that seem to punish the other side, but don't necessarily have to shut down all businesses between the two sides. United States Secretary of Commerce said that Washington was working closely with allies to address China's economic coercion that targets a single U.S. company without any basis in fact. "We won't tolerate it, nor do we think it will be successful," she said. While the Chinese government said Japan's export control measures will undermine the interests of Chinese and Japanese companies as well as disrupt the global semiconductor industry. Some United States semiconductor companies and foreign governments have also warned about the potential impact of the coordinated export control measures. The United States seriously risks damaging its tech industry if it keeps imposing restrictions on trade with China. If China can't buy from the United States, they'll just build it themselves, so the U.S. has to be careful. China is a very important market for the technology industry. In addition, South Korea has also urged the U.S. to review the criteria for semiconductor subsidies. Seoul is concerned the rules that prevent recipients of United States federal funding from building new facilities in countries like China will have a damaging impact on South Korean semiconductor companies. The U.S.-led measures have created a wide range of collateral damage to American businesses and United States citizens, as they are either banned from selling equipment to Chinese companies or prohibited from working for Chinese companies that have been blacklisted by Washington. While the U.S. government decides to sanction China, the Semiconductor Industry Association thinks the government needs to do it in a way that doesn't hurt American companies or companies from allied countries too much. It's difficult for Washington and its allies to execute these export control measures in a strategic way, as most companies investing in the United States also have strong business interests in China. Some U.S. companies are heavily dependent on the Chinese market. And another thing that complicates things considerably is the fact that semiconductors are a classic dual-use technology, which means that it is difficult to determine what to restrict, since semiconductors can be used in both everyday applications and in weapon systems. Although Washington's measures have done some collateral damage to us companies, there may still be an opportunity to facilitate trade between United States and Chinese semiconductor companies without abandoning export controls. United States companies can apply for special licenses, and if their applications are approved, they can continue to sell semiconductors or, presumably, semiconductor manufacturing equipment to China. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Subscribe to the channel and write your opinion in the comments.